Hello, friends! Welcome to PyroKitty's Tavern. I am April the PyroKitty, and I hope you all are excited about some dinosaurs because we are starting Dinovember. I know it's not the 1st of November, I'm aware. We did have our charity stream this past Sunday. That charity is still live, so if you would like to donate to the Save the Vaquita Fund, that one is still available through the QR code. It is the world's most critically endangered marine mammal. There's fewer than 20, possibly even fewer than 10 left, and it is the world's smallest cetacean, so it's a super cute little animal. I'm going to be keeping running the charity through today and through the rest of the week, really, if you want to copy the Tiltify link and donate after payday or anything, if you are able. Don't want to pressure anybody or anything. But yeah, so otherwise, we are kicking off Dinovember. This is technically an art prompt list that runs most Novembers. It is put on by our friend of the channel, Casey Snow Art. Again, it's primarily for artists, but I wanted to honor it in a way for myself. So I'm doing it my way because I am not an artist. So what we're going to do is I'm going to start each stream talking just briefly about the animals on the list that have come previously, showing a few pictures, and then we're gonna do some dino related stuff. Today I am building the Lego T-Rex skull. On Sunday I will be building an ankylosaur baby with an egg. It looks super cute. I have a backup if we finish that one early. I have like a triceratops with an egg, but I don't know if we'll get to that one. That's my backup. I do also have a dinosaur related puzzle going. It's some art by Suntroa. We have done this puzzle before in the past, but I wanted to do it again because I don't have a new dinosaur art from him just yet. But yeah, so we're gonna kick off by going just briefly over the first 6 dinosaurs on Dinovember list, as today is the 6th and I am behind. But again, this is a list by Casey Snow Art. If you are an artist and are interested in participating in Dinovember, I will be welcome to give you the Blue Sky link. I suppose I should have made a link with that. But you could also find it on her Twitch page and on her, by a link to her Blue Sky. That's where she has it posted. But yeah, so we're gonna go over the first 6 on this list. Just a brief little glance at their wiki page, go over just brief little fun fact, show a couple pictures, and then move on. As I said, today we were building the Lego T-Rex skull. So we'll get to that shortly, but we're gonna kick off by learning a little bit about these first 6 dinosaurs here. We have Velociraptor, Spicomelus, Corythosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Mendozasaurus, and Gallimimus. And then on Sunday, we'll go over the ones between now and Sunday. I figured that'd be a good way to go. Today's gonna have a bunch because, again, I'm behind, but... So let's get kicked off. I hope you all like dinosaurs. Hope you're excited about dinosaurs. I don't know anyone who doesn't really like dinosaurs. They're fascinating. To me, at least. So first up is Velociraptor. Let's see. I want to try and get this visible to you guys. Maybe if I turn off. Okay, yeah, now you can see it. So yeah, so this is Velociraptor. A lot of people probably misidentify Velociraptor thanks to the Jurassic Park franchise. The monsters that were in Jurassic Park, or the monsters, I guess they were monsters, but the dinosaurs that were in Jurassic Park were not Velociraptors. They were more like Deinonychus, this one right here. Velociraptors are tiny by comparison. this is how big a velociraptor gets. Nowhere near the size that you would spot in Jurassic Park. Again, those are more Deinonychus, or the more recently discovered Utah raptor, not Utah raptor. These guys, they're small. They would probably do some damage to you, but they're not nearly as human-sized as the velociraptors from Jurassic Park. These guys definitely had feathers. We have found feathers on them, so that's fascinating. But let's just do a brief little blurb at the top, and then we'll move on to the next one. I don't want to spend a whole ton of time, especially today's, because I have 6 to go through. Velociraptor is a small genus of dromaeosaurid dinosaur that lived in Asia during the late Cretaceous epoch, about 75 million to 71 million years ago. 2 species are currently recognized, although others have been assigned to in the past. Here we go. Smaller than other dromaeosaurids like Deinonychus and Achilobacter. Velociraptor was about, we'll go with feet, 4.9 to 6.8 feet long, with a body mass around 31 to 43 pounds. So about the weight of a really big dog. It nonetheless shared many of the same anatomical features. It was bipedal, feathered carnivore with a long tail and an enlarged sickle-shaped claw on its hind foot. Oh man, we got 2 bots back to back. Oh no, just 1 bot. Oh, good bot. Good job, SiriBot. So there's the large claw right there. That was true, but it was a lot smaller than what was presented in Jurassic Park. So it was thought that this would have been used to tackle and restrain prey. Velociraptor can be distinguished from other dromaeosaurids by its long, low skull with an upturned snout, which you can kind of see here. And there's that kind of a bow, and it sort of angled up a little bit. Yeah, here. Velociraptor is one of the dinosaur genera most familiar to the general public due to its prominent role in the Jurassic Park films. In reality, however, Velociraptor was roughly the size of a turkey, considerably smaller than the 6.6 feet tall and 200-pound, it says, I guess, reptiles seen in the novels and the films, which were based on members of the related genus Deinonychus. This is really what they were in the movies. Today, Velociraptor is well known to paleontologists with over a dozen described fossil skeletons. One particularly famous specimen preserves Velociraptor locked in combat with a Protoceratops. I'll show that picture just because it's really neat. Here is the Velociraptor. Here, you can see its claws. There's its sickle toe claw. Skull is up here. And here's a Protoceratops. There's the hind leg. I think this is part of the front leg. And here is the kind of the skull. It's a little distorted, but it's, yeah, here's the Velociraptor. Here's the Protoceratops. This is a fun fossil. Here's an artist interpretation of how they would have been locked at the time of death. And here's their size, just for comparison. All right, so that is November 1st dinosaur, Velociraptor. The second is Spicomelus, which is a very new dinosaur. There is not a lot known about this one, other than it was extremely spiky. Spicomelus is an extinct genus of an unusual early ankylosaurin from out of Morocco. It contains a single species, but is the oldest named definitive ankylosaurid. So ankylosaurs are armored dinosaurs, usually low to the ground. They usually have some sort of defense on their tail, and spikiness of some sort along their back, some sort of armor plating. In 2025, several additional bones, including osteoderms and cranial and postcranial remains, were described, revealing that it bears a unique array of spines all over the body, including extremely elongated spines around the neck and pelvis. It likely had a tail weapon, making it the oldest known ankylosaur with this structure. So here is the interpretation of it. But yeah, look at these crazy spikes. Let me give you a size comparison. There's usually one. Oh, there is not one on this page. I have one on here, I think. Pinterest to the rescue. Here we go. So yeah, those spikes would have been very large. Very big. Like giant spikes. Trying to see if there's any other fun tip. This one is very newly discovered, so beyond having crazy spikes, here's an artist rendition or interpretation. Like, look at these. It is so spiky. It's like, you think you have enough spikes? No, more spikes. I hear you like spikes on your spikes, so I put some more spikes on your spikes. So that is the Spicomelus. Next up is the Corythosaurus, which was a hadrosaur or duck-billed dinosaur of the late Cretaceous. It was in what is now Western North America. Is known from many complete specimens, including the nearly complete holotype, which is sort of their main version, found in 1911. The holotype, that main skeleton, was only missing the last section of the tail and part of the front legs, but actually preserved with impressions of the scales, which is really neat. It is known for many skulls with tall crest, that resemble those of a cassowary. The most likely function of the crest is thought to be vocalization, as in a trombone. Sound waves would travel through many chambers in the crest and then get amplified when Corythosaurus exhaled. One Corythosaurus specimen has even been preserved with a blast meal in its chest cavity. Thank you for the follow, New Pixel Perfect. Welcome on in. Today we're talking a little bit about dinosaurs, and then we're going to be building a Lego T-Rex skull. We're sort of celebrating Casey Snowart's Dinovember, but on the variety streamer side of things. But inside this one specimen with a preserved meal, it was remains of conifer needles, seeds, and twigs, fruits, suggesting it fed on plant matter. So here is a skeleton, but yeah, this is the neat head shape with this crest, which likely had more on top of it. These crests are just sort of the bone bases, and on top of this would have likely been a keratin structure. That's what we see in modern birds. There's usually like a keratin sheath on top of this, so it likely would have been even more impressive and bigger, probably colorful, my guess. But yeah, so here is the Corythosaurus. Here is one that you can kind of see actually has some scale impression preserved. You'll see in a lot of media, they'll call these mummies, but they're not really. It's just an impression of the skin. Yeah, here's some of that. No, this isn't the skin. That's where it was found. Thought it would show. Yeah, here's the skin impression. Again, this is not actually the skin. This is an impression of the skin. So it's not a mummy. It's just an impression. But still very neat. Gives us a big clue on what it looks like. Here's a close-up of that skull. And again, this would have just been the bone base. The actual crest probably would have been even bigger than this, made out of keratin on top of that. Here is an artist interpretation of what it could have looked like. Here's another one of those skulls. Very, very neat shape. All right, so next up is Ceratosaurus. We're getting into another carnivorous dinosaur. Ceratosaurus is a genus of carnivorous theropod dinosaur that lived in the late Jurassic period in North America and Europe. Welcome in, Neil. Hope you're having a great day so far. So quick blurb here. Ceratosaurus was a medium-sized theropod. The original specimen was estimated at about 17 feet or 18.7 feet long, while another specimen was described as being longer at around 23 feet, so not small. Ceratosaurus was characterized by deep jaws that supported proportionally very long blade-like teeth, a prominent ridge-like horn in the midline of the snout, and a pair of horns over the eyes. The forelimbs were very short, but remained fully functional. The hand had 4 fingers with claws on the first 3. The tail was deep from the top to bottom, a row of small osteoderms, or skin bones, kind of armor, was present down the middle of the neck, back, and tail. Additional osteoderms were present at unknown positions on the animal body, which means they weren't recovered in situ. So here is our skeleton of Ceratosaurus. These are those osteoderms that I was talking about up there. There's that nose horn, and you can kind of see the eye horns as well. Big ol' teeth. That's just a drawing. This is a old interpretation of what it would look like. That is wrong. We're not going to go with that. Here's its size compared to a person in a top hat. Definitely not small. It would ruin your day for sure. Here we go. Here is an artistic interpretation. Did not get much bigger, did it? Let's see. Is there another? Okay. No other artistic interpretation. But here is some of those nose... nasal horn and some of the teeth. So next is Mendozasaurus. This is a sauropod, so a long neck, big dinosaur. These are the ones that start to get your brain thinking, how did something that big walk around in possibly herds? This one we don't know a whole lot about. I do have more pictures of it on the Pinterest board. Species belong to the discovered... Oh, hang on. Here we go. Mendozasaurus is a genus of Titanosauran sauropod dinosaurs, member of Titanosauria, which were massive sauropods that were common in southern landmasses during the Cretaceous, represented by several partial skeletons from a single locality, from Argentina. So let me pull up the Pinterest board again, and I could show you a couple interpretations of this one. This one is neat because it has some of those osteoderms. So here's some of the skeleton pieces we have found. Yeah, you can kind of see them on this artistic interpretation. So it has some osteoderm spines on its back. Whether that was for protection or some sort of display, we don't know. But it's a neat concept that this sauropod had these osteoderms. Don't often see that. So that is Mendozasaurus. And the last one, today's, is Gallimimus. Gallimimus is the largest known ornithomimid. Adults were about 20 feet long, 6 feet 3 inches tall at the hip, and weighed about 880 to over 1,000 pounds. As evidenced by its relative Ornithomimus, it's highly likely that it would have had feathers. The head was small and light, with large eyes that faced to the sides. The snout was long compared to other ornithomimids. although it was broader and more rounded at the tip than in other species. Gallimimus was toothless with a keratinous sort of a beak and had a delicate lower jaw. Many of the vertebrae had openings that indicate they were air-filled or pneumatic. The neck was proportionally long in relation to the trunk. The hands were proportionally the shortest of any of the ornithomimiid. And each had 3 digits that with curved claws. The forelimbs were weak, while the hind limbs were proportionally long. Would have been a fleet animal, using its speed to escape predators. It's estimated to have been able to get up to speeds of 29 to 34 miles per hour, so a quick little beast. May have had good vision and intelligence comparable to ratite birds, which are like the kiwi. Well, here. These ostrich-type birds may have lived in groups. Several specimens have been discovered in a bone bed, so that's... they don't quite know what it ate. Might have been sort of an omnivore. But yeah, so let's look at a few pictures of this one. There you go. You can see it didn't have any teeth, just sort of this beak that probably would have been covered in keratin. Thank you for the sub, Scorched. Thank you. You know what that means. You've got to pick your sub reward. Got to pick your potion ingredient. Better than the History Channel. Needs some aliens, though. No aliens here. We won't be having aliens. But we will learn about some dinosaurs. $28. All right. That one is going in the cauldron. Let me see if I can get my cameras to work. Sort of. There we go. There is your 28 in the cauldron. And that is 2 subs for heading towards our next potion. At 10, we get to make a whole potion. Hope you're doing all right today, Scorchold. All right, so we're on Gallimimus. We're learning a little bit about dinosaurs, celebrating Dinovember, which is technically an art prompt put on by our friend of the channel, Casey Snowart, but I wanted to modify it a little bit for my variety stream. So we're going to talk about dinosaurs, and I'm going to be building some dino Lego. Later this month, we're going to be playing some Paleo Pines. I am doing all right. Thanks for asking. I get to talk about dinosaurs. I like dinosaurs, so this is fun. That is a really tiny picture. All right. Here's a bigger picture. So here are some more Gallimimus. You can see they got these long legs. Here's a size comparison for you. Not small, but unlikely to eat you. Unless you're dead already, then maybe. Here's an artistic interpretation. You can kind of see they've got that keratin on the beak there. Definitely we're probably feathered. We have not actually found feather impressions around these guys, but most likely we're feathered. There's another skeletal example here. You can see they have these really long back legs. Definitely sort of built for running. There is a skull. You can once again see no teeth. And this is what they believe is a juvenile. So you see its head is a little bit more squat, not quite as long. I see if there's another good artistic interpretation. Here you can see there's some down here. But yeah, so that is our kickoff for Dinovember. On Sunday, we will go over the next on the list, which is going to be Megaraptor, Kentrosaurus, and Coeliophysis. So if you have any interest in those, come back Sunday and we'll go a little briefly over those as well. Until then, today and Sunday, today I will be building the T-Rex skull, which is, let me put that back up on screen. There we go. That up there, that's what we're building today, the Lego T-Rex skull model. And then on Sunday, I'll be building a Ankylosaur baby in an egg, which is really cute. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. Please tell me if the music and mic sounds and everything are all right. Let me turn the music up a little bit. It seems a little quiet. And I'm gonna get building. I'm not a paleontologist, but I love dinosaurs. Paleontology was one of my things I kind of wanted to get into as a kid. So I'm sure I'm not the only one that thought about being a paleontologist growing up. I did not get into paleontology. I got into archaeology, which is like the human side of it. I have thought about going back and getting some less schooling in geology for paleontology, sort of learn about rocks and things. But that costs money. Yeah, I hope everybody has been... I put this on totally wrong, didn't I? I did. Hope everybody's been having a good day. Again, for those of you just joining in, while it is Dinovember, we started off this month with Save the Vaquita Week, which it technically still is. I do still have my Tiltify going for Save the Vaquitas. The vaquita is the world's most endangered marine mammal. There are fewer than 20, possibly fewer than 10 remaining in the wild. And it is possible to save them, but they need all the conservation help we can give them. Save the Vaquita Week is going on all week. It is over 30 streamers getting together. We're trying to save this porpoise. Streaming with a porpoise, we were calling it. So if you are interested and able to donate anything to Save the Vaquita charity, feel free. Like I said, I have the dono going up all week. But if you are not, do not fret. I will not think any... I know not everybody can make donations for everything. Why are you not? There we go. Our team has raised, I want to say, almost $7,000 towards rescue, towards conservation efforts. So I would say we've been decently successful. The final tallies have not come out yet. Unfortunately, we aren't all using the same platform for donations, so we're waiting for the final totals to all be tallied up. We'll probably be doing this charity again next year, and hopefully we'll be able to get it a little bit more organized. This year, it's put on by Casey Snowart, and she was getting ready to go to TwitchCon right as it was getting started, and everything was crazy right around that same time. Oh. Already losing pieces, guys. There we go. One constant. PyroKitty will always lose Lego pieces. Oh, I do have a puzzle up and going in the background if you are interested. It is pinned to the top of chat, or you could type !puzzle. It is... From your viewpoint, this Vikita event has been awesome. You're welcome. I'm glad that it has been going as well as it has been. I'm pleasantly surprised by the amount of money that the team has managed to raise. And it's been an awesome time, you know, watching everybody get together and try and save this adorable little porpoise. As somebody who lives on the water and sees dolphins on an almost daily basis, I see bottlenose dolphins, of course, not Vikita, but they have a soft spot. I have a soft spot for porpoises, and I hope we're able to save this super cute little porpoise. Hey, we have some amber with a mosquito in it. There we go. Focus. Focus. There we go. Amber with a mosquito. Maybe more impactful than money raised is how many more people have become aware and are spreading the word. Yes. Yes, that exactly. That's why, I mean, today we're all about dinosaurs for Dinovember, but I still am wanting to get the word of the Vikita out there. I'm wanting it to... The more people that know about it, because, I mean, I definitely have heard over this, this week of the event, just people being like, I've never heard of this little porpoise, with fewer than possibly 10 remaining in the wild, which is just crazy. Okay. Right. And then trying to lose another piece, guys. I'm guessing this is going to be the base for the actual skull on here. Has anybody been up to anything interesting this week? Anything interesting going on out there in the wilds? I've been focused on Save the Vaquita Week event and work. We are unfortunately short-staffed at my pharmacy. Sort of. We're technically only down one person, but two of the people we have are new hires, and they're still very green. So while there's, you know, technically people working, it's almost more work because we have to train them. They're learning, but it's a busy time of year for us at the pharmacy because it is flu season. So we have a lot of people who are sick, a lot of people who are getting vaccinated. Well, in my area, not very many people are getting vaccinated, but we have to offer vaccines to everybody because we have quotas. And then also we just have a lot of people just sick, and that means a lot of things we have to fill. Don't forget to get your drops in, guys. I am still running you get a free sticker if you hit 95% or higher. If you're under the age of 18, I can't send you a sticker. I don't want to encourage minors to give out addresses online, but I will let you pick 60 seconds of a voice mod. And on the note of voice mods, I have voice mods active in the channel. They should be like a little... There should be like a little tab if you hover over the video of my stream. And you should be able to click that, and I think it's 100 bits for 60 seconds of a crazy voice, if you so choose. If anybody wants to make me sound weird for a minute. Goes this way? Yes. Then this goes there. And a lot of little connection points going on here. A viney thing going off up here. And now some plants. That's a fun way of adding dimension to the plants. Just put another plant on top. I had some leftover buffalo wings before stream, and let me tell you, my heartburn right now is real and alive. All right, and this goes there. Adding some greenery down here to the bottom, looks like. There we go. And that is bag 1 complete. My spare pieces up here. And I already have the next couple of bags separated out because I thought ahead for once. I don't know if you'll be able to hear it, but if you hear some like pounding in the background, I apologize. They're working on my stairs outside. I'm hoping my mic doesn't pick it up. It should be pretty quiet. I can hear it, but I know what's going on. Okay, so this guy goes here. Okay. Let's those. I don't know what the blue piece is going on is. All of it. I'm sure I'll find out. Oh, this has like no connection point here. Being held on by hopes and dreams. I wonder, it says me to build it separately. Got some interesting shape going on. Not sure what it's supposed to be yet. I've been putting together the schedule for the next few months for the stream. There's probably going to be a bit more Lego building. Next month, December, I'm going to, between the holidays and a vacation Suntroa and I are going on, I'm only really going to be streaming like 4 streams. So I decided I'm just going to make all 4 of those streams are going to be brick building streams. Because it's not enough time for me to really play anything with any sort of substance. I mean, I know there's some short games. I thought at first about playing just a short game. But I was like, you know what, we could just do some holiday builds. So I'm going to be building, for sure, the Lego Gingerbread AT-AT, which I think is amazing, and I'm super excited about building that one. It did come in. I was worried it wouldn't come in because it was back ordered, and I ordered it, and it told me it wasn't going to get here until January. But it actually came in, so we're definitely building that one. And then my other thought, I found this neat, it's called a book nook. So it's one that kind of closes and looks like you could slide it onto a bookshelf, but then it'll open up and there's like a scene inside. And it's like a holiday scene. And I'm thinking that we'll do that one also. I have not ordered that one. I probably need to do that soon. But that's what I'm currently thinking is going to be for December. And then January, we're gonna do, I'm gonna call it a goblin-esque theme. That's my working title. I have this game that's really cute. It's called Trash Goblin. I've not played it, but it looks really adorable. And I was gonna play that, and I was also going to build sort of like a steampunk-esque typewriter that kind of somewhat fits that theme. Welcome in, Megaff. How are you? I hope you're doing well. I'm doing all right. We are celebrating Dinovember for the rest of the month. So I am doing some dino Lego builds to kick things off. So I hope you like dinos. I'm going to start each stream. If you get here early in the stream, I'm actually talking about a few dinosaurs, going over some pictures and just briefly touching on some fun facts. We did already do that today, but in the future, if you get here early, that's what I'm kicking off my streams with. Yeah, so today I am building this Lego build up here. It's the T-Rex skull. On Sunday, I will be building an ankylosaur baby in an egg, which is really cute. You love dinos? Well, then definitely come hang out this month. I do have a puzzle up and going. It is one that we have done in the past. I did not have time to get another puzzle put together, but we're gonna have some dinosaur themed puzzles. And like I said, I'm gonna kick off each stream talking about a handful of dinosaurs, just some fun facts and some pictures. And then like I said, I'm building a baby ankylosaur in an egg on Sunday. And then after that, I'm going to be playing some Paleo Pines, which is a really cute game where you ride dinosaurs in this little land where dinosaurs are sort of the mounts. I played it at the very beginning when I first started streaming. Played a little bit of it, but I haven't touched it since, and I thought that would be a fun little throwback to the beginning of stream, like back a year ago when I started streaming, as well as it's just super cute. I do apologize. I do appear to be having a little bit of bitrate issues. Be mad at my internet. That is the cause. Oh, we do have an ad coming up here shortly. So I do not build during the ads. I take a brief break. So that is what I will do this time. I'll take a break. I am going to mute my microphone and go get myself some more water because I've somehow already finished my water. Well, almost finished. I'm like 2 guzzles away. Yeah, see? Almost out. But yeah, we will not build during the ad break. I will just be stepping away to get some more water. and giving everybody a chance to stretch and hydrate and eat, because you got to make sure you all eat. If you haven't taken any meds and you need to take your meds, make sure that you take them. Oh, yep, there is the mom mode. Alright. This is interesting little build, mini build in here. That. Oop. And this goes under here. Go. Am I doing that right? Looks like it. Alright, and then these go here. That's an interesting little structure we got going on. Hoping to get through this step before that ad starts, but I don't think that's gonna. I'm gonna snooze the ad just so I can get through this step. I want to clear off this tray so that I could go ahead and separate out the next couple of bags. Okay, so take this. Like that. And one going the other way. Definitely have some interesting structure going on here. No, up there. Oop, come back here. Jeez. Had us put those bright blue pieces on, but it looks like we're kind of covering them up. All right, that goes there. That goes there. Getting some interesting curvy shapes. Ow. Okay. Definitely have some interesting little structures going on here. Okay. Trying to think of what this is supposed to be looking like. Those right. That goes. Okay. Ah, it's a footprint. I see what we're going for now. This is a footprint of the T-Rex. Dropped a piece. I did drop that piece. I know it's gonna go right here so that it get that tip. But I'm gonna move on to the next step. I'll look for that piece when we're on our break. Well, the ad break. Goodness gracious. I'm just dropping all the pieces. There. All right, that ad break is about to start. I am going to go ahead and use this chance to separate the next couple of bags. I got a few pieces left for this. Oh, yeah, we got one more step. I'm actually just going to go ahead and put these together real quick. Before that ad kicks off. All right. All right. Set that up there. Separate out the next two bags during this ad break. And then I'm gonna go run and get some water. Probably take me a little bit longer than the actual ad break. No. If you can hear my voice, now is a great opportunity to stretch, unshrimp yourself. No shrimps in chat. Separated. I like to get the bags separated out early. Oh. Makes life a little bit easier. What's this bag? Apologies for the crinkles. Those some chairs. All the teeth in the same spot. Baby bag. Ooh. I really do apologize for the bitrate issues we seem to be having today. All I can say is I'm thankful that I didn't have them over on our charity stream on Sunday. There we go. Next two bags separated. Alright, the ad break is almost over. I do still need to go get some more water. Welcome back from the ads, everybody. I got the next two bags separated, but I did not go and get water. So I'm going to go refill my water bottle real quick. It'll take me just, like, less than a minute. I am back. Told you it would not take me long. Get back situated here. Bring our next tray up. So all I did after the ad was I put this piece on. I attached it right there. This is the footprint. I did find that piece I dropped. So there is our T-Rex footprint. It's a pretty good representation of one, truth be told. And now we're going to attach it. There we go. Now we're going to work on the actual skull itself. Thank you all for hanging out during that ad break. That is a cheap and easy way to support the stream. I do actually get revenue from the ad breaks. That's not gonna be able to be up there. Blocking my screen. I can't see what I'm doing. As a reminder, I do still have this charity live and running. If you are able to support the Vaquita Porpoise, greatly appreciate it. This event is going on all week. You can also check out any of the streamers that are doing Save the Vaquita streams. Goodness gracious. Looking at my... just how badly my stream is running bitrate. I'm really sorry about that today. If only I had better internet. Unfortunately, where I live, our options are basically non-existent. I could do Starlink, which I really don't want to do. It's expensive and not super reliable here in my area. And the other option is T-Mobile Home Internet, which is what I have. And that's pretty much it. Which the T-Mobile Home Internet has fast speeds, but it's not super reliable. But it is much cheaper than Starlink would be if I go with Starlink. But a similar reliability, so like, well, I might as well just... No, not all the way to the end. Hoping one day they might run fiber. They ran it down the street, but they stopped just at our road. And they say they have no plans to come down our road, but we're hoping maybe one day we can convince them to come down our road. I don't actually see this piece. There it is. Here is our skull starting to come together. You can kind of start to see the shape a little bit if you heavily use your imagination. Goodness gracious, that bit rate. No, I need the other. This. Okay. Oh. Sit that down a moment. In completely unrelated topics, tomorrow is In7 Day. I don't know if I have any other Mass Effect fans in the chat. Really hoping to hear a little bit about Mass Effect 5. I've also been getting hyped about a new game in development called Exodus, which is being put together by some ex-BioWare devs, and has a very Mass Effect-esque vibe. They've really started to push the universe for that story, and I've been reading a book that's set in universe after the events of the game, if I understand correctly. That is called Exodus. The book is Archimedes' Engine. I do recommend it. I'm not done reading it yet, but I'm almost done. I'm like in the last bit. Like I'm at what I guess I'm terrible at what book parts are called, but I guess it would be called the climax of the book. Everything is starting to converge and come together, and I'm finding it really enjoyable. So if you are a Mass Effect fan and are looking forward to Mass Effect, I'd recommend also looking into Exodus. Welcome in, Chris TS. Yes, we are touching bricks today. There is some brick touching happening. I'm building the Lego T-Rex skull. We are celebrating Dinovember. So I'm going to be building this Lego T-Rex skull today. And on Sunday, I will be building a ankylosaur egg with a baby. I also have a Triceratops egg with a baby, but I don't think we're going to get to that one. That's sort of my backup. And then later in the month, we're going to be playing the more Paleo Pines, which is what I played when I first started streaming. So it's kind of a throwback to a year ago when I started streaming. But I was also talking about how tomorrow is In7 Day. If you are a Mass Effect fan, that is sort of our day to celebrate. I unfortunately have to work tomorrow, so I'm not able to wear my In7 shirt or hoodie. I don't think it's going to be cold enough for a hoodie anyway. But I will definitely be wearing it after work anywhere I might be going. I was talking about another series being made by ex-BioWare devs called Exodus. Oh, and tomorrow we're hoping to hear some Mass Effect 5 news. There's a chance. There we go. Getting its shape, coming together. But yeah, I highly recommend looking up Exodus if you are a Mass Effect fan at all. Even if you're just a BioWare fan. It so far seems like it's going to be ticking all of those boxes. I've been reading a book in universe called Archimedes' Engine. And it's been enjoyable for sure. And yeah, they've really been hyping it up. We're hoping that there's going to be a trailer for it at the Game Awards in December. Or maybe even possibly a release date for Exodus. You can definitely start to see the T-Rex shape starting to come into play here. You can sort of start to see the... This looks like it's going to be the nose. This is the back part of it. Oh. Trying to keep track of where I am. Rounded bits. Well, these are interesting. Ooh. Dropping things. Did not lose them, though. Did not fall on the floor. These go on top. And yeah, I don't know if you guys start to pick out that T-Rex shape coming into play. And I'm sorry about the terrible bitrate issues. I think I've done just about everything I can do on my OBS end. And I don't have any other internet options really, so... We just gotta deal with the hand we're being dealt. Okay, so this goes in here. This goes... Yep. So far, a fun little build. I am definitely enjoying it. And sort of start to see that shape come in. One of those. And one of those. No, don't freeze again. Why didn't it just have me do this to start? Okay, and then that is going to be the nose. Alright. Next back. Do you guys see Azar down here? Look at him. I wonder if I can get this to the point it is. Yeah, look at him. Look at him. Oh, you heard me talking about him. I say he heard, but he's kind of deaf. I swear he can hear a little bit. Because he picks up on things like that when I'm talking about him. Okay. We're gonna build a little mini thing here. Oh, wrong. Right, and that is going to go here. Ah, so that's going to be the hinge where the top of the head meets the lower jaw, I'm betting. Yeah, and there's the other hinge. There's that. There we go. And as a brief reminder, we do have a puzzle going in the background. If anybody wants to puzzle along, it is pinned to the top of chat. One, and then build it again. Since we're kicking off Dinovember, what is everybody's favorite dinosaur? Or do you have multiple favorites? Do you have a new favorite? An old favorite? Do you have a favorite, like, class of dinosaur if you don't have a specific favorite? Like, do you like sauropods or theropods or something like that? Oh, I need two of those. Oops. Where's the other one? There it is. This is kind of like the middle of the skull sort of structure going in there. Pretty much interested in a whole lot, mostly the timeline. Yeah, I struggle. If somebody asks me what my favorite dinosaur is, I struggle. I'm like, what time period? I have a lot of favorites in different time periods. And then, like, I have like different favorites for different reasons. Yeah, it's next to impossible for me to pick like a favorite. Oh, what? Where does this go? Oh, I see. Some of the later species are closer in years to early and mid-period dinosaurs. That's why it's so funny to see two dinos separate them out. Yes, like T-Rex and Stegosaurus. as a prime example. If you don't know what we're talking about, chat, T-Rex is closer in time period to us than it is to Stegosaurus. So if you see like any sort of media that has a T-Rex and a Stegosaurus, it is hilarious because they never would have met. They were... T-Rex is closer in time to us humans than to Stegosaurus. That is the crazy long span of time that dinosaurs ruled the Earth, and the tiny, in comparison, amount of time that we have. Yeah, T-Rex and Stegosaurus never would have met. T-Rex probably would have been walking on some Stegosaurus fossils. Start to get some shapes going on there. Azar got warm, left his little warm bed. Not that one. This one. Yeah, so we're going to be building some Lego, and then we'll be playing some Paleo Pines. I'm trying to decide if I should just pick up Paleo Pines where we left off a year ago, or if I should start a whole new game. I'm going to be thinking about that over the next week, because I'm not sure. I have pluses and minuses for and against both ways. So it's a big debate in my head. There. Almost lost what step we were on. Alright, and then that goes under there. It's starting to kind of look like eyebrows. I don't know if that's what this is going to be, but that's what it looked like to me. Need 2 of that side and 2 of the other side. He needs to do that. Looks right. Do it again. Have you seen the reimagining of dinos Saw a horror creature reconstructed from bones exactly the way paleos used to do them. Turned out to be a zebra. I have not. I don't think. I mean, I might have. Actually, no. You know what? I think I have seen what you're talking about, where they're like just doing the sort of shrink wrapping the bones kind of look, and it's just hilariously wrong. Yeah, shrink wrapping. Yeah, it's disturbing. Like cetaceans, like whales and dolphins, they have like a really weird skull structure, and they look nothing like their skull does not look anything like what you would imagine it would look like, because they have a lot of sort of like a melon on the front of their head. Welcome in, Suntroa. Welcome back from work. There's also shrink wrap versions of modern. Yeah, that's what we were sort of talking about, like shrink wrapped marine animals, and shrink wrap elephant would look terrifying. Be sure to check out Suntroa Arts. That is my hubby, and also the artist of the channel. Goes there. And there. I think this is going to be sort of the top. I don't know. What fascinates me, this huge lizard-like animal must have skin just like a mammal. Cover it in elephant skin texture. It was like, really? Yeah. We were looking at pictures of the first 6 dinos of Dinovember, which were these 6 here, and we were talking about the Corythosaurus, how they have found some skin impressions, and you actually in the news recently there has been talk about finding an Edmontosaurus mummy. It's not a mummy. They're skin impressions. They're not actually mummified soft tissue. It's, you could just see what the skin looks like in like clay or mud. But it did not look like a mammal skin. Okay, so This goes up here. Getting our shape coming together. Flip it upside down. Don't break it. Another thing you've always wondered about that, just how much evidence of the animal archaeologist 2 restructures are smashed and discarded to get at the treasure. Yeah. My degree that I went to college for is in archaeology and anthropology, and the amount of people don't quite realize how many ancient Egyptian mummies, or mummies from anywhere actually, were destroyed in the Victorian era, like just obliterated. They would use them for fertilizer, magical health cures. They would eat mummy, which is just appalling to me. And so there are a lot of mummies that we just don't have anymore. And that's not counting the ones that were just destroyed to get at their like gold or yeah, the precious jewels and metals. Making sure I'm trying to build this right. Isn't this right? I think so. Yeah. Right. Room items, etc. destroyed to get at the real stuff. Yeah. Oh yeah. Things, lots. There is so much archaeology that is lost forever. To get at some treasure. One of these. That's one there. Ooh, get back on there. And oh, trying to run away, guys. There we go. All right, wants us to spin this around. This bit going to go whoop, right here. There we go. Got first part of the outside of the skull there. Once saw archaeological description of a sacred room found in all homes and structures made by the civilization, obviously an ancient people who made extensive use of water in their religious practices. Oh, I'm breaking something on the other side. Then showed a pic of a bathroom. Was report done by an archaeologist 100,000 years in the future. I often wonder what archaeologists will think of our civilization today. $10,000. In a couple months, in March, I'm actually going to do an ancient Egyptian theme for my whole month, and I'll probably try and look up some of my my old research that I had from college. Maybe throw in a couple little bits here and there about ancient Egypt. Maybe about King Tut or Tutankhamun. So, if you really like ancient Egyptian information, come back in March for sure. Makes you think of our interpretation of what we find to know what this is for, but it must be sacred and spiritual. It just has to be. Yeah, I never quite gave in to the everything has a ritual purpose method of or thought process of archaeology. Alright. Now I made that eye piece for this other side here. Well, back of eye, I guess. Go. There we go. Alright, we're gonna start the teeth. Gobekli Tepe, for instance, it's now known not to have been intentionally buried to keep it safe and secret. Also far more extensive and covered a few thousand years of use. Yes, it was, and there's also more than one of those type of structures. They have found other similar type structures that aren't quite as good of shape, I don't think, but there are others in the area. So it was not a one-off temple. I will say that Gobekli Tepe probably did have some sort of spiritual use, but not like completely. It was probably also just like a meeting place, like a gathering place. Yeah, that's the extensive. Gotcha. I mean, I guess you could kind of equate it to today. Some communities will use like churches, but also as like not for a spiritual function, but just like as it's a place where everyone knows that you can, has a big gathering area, different sites scattered around the area. Yep, yeah. Okay, starting with the teeth here. There we go. Seems to be like a gathering place to share info about hunting, etc. All the animal totems I see as calendars, much like our people. Place of knowledge sharing and recording. So my interpretation is that those that sort of shared knowledge and recorded knowledge were kind of seen as sort of sacred in and of themselves. The animals probably would have been seen somewhat sacred, but not in the sense that we assign to like a religion. We don't see things like, we don't see the world the same way as back then, so it's hard to interpret how they would have seen things. That's kind of my acknowledgement, is like our viewpoint of the world is so dramatically different. True, the people, well, it could have been a like a more permanent place for all the nomadic people to come back to. Like I said, it's an area that they know that they can go return to. I think that looks right. All right, and there's the front of the jaw. Looks a little odd, but we're not done building yet, so. Oh, I see. There we go. That looks better. I didn't get to the next step. All right. I do need to separate out this next bag because I did not do that yet. We're actually about to have an ad break. So I'm going to go ahead and run that ad break while I separate out this bag and take a quick restroom break. And then we'll come back and build this last bag and put everything together. With all that, there are many who are super reluctant to remove the religious spiritual aspect of it. Yeah, I guess I said it's really hard to do interpretation. I don't assign like a super religious aspect per se. Spiritual maybe, but just in the sense of the animals would have had kind of like a, you know, we don't think of cows as sacred, but if that's, you know, the only food option we had. But we're going to take a brief break. I'm just going to go ahead and throw... Just imagine museums, zoos, libraries, stadiums, how they would be interpreted in the far future. True. I am going to put up this with the puzzle. There we go. Feel free to work on the puzzle. Like, it's not going to be a long break, just long enough for the ads to run, me to run to the restroom, and separate out this bag. So just a few minutes, but I will... Alright, I will be back in probably about 5 to 10 minutes. And we will finish up our T-Rex skull. Let's get this ad going to get that out of the way. Alright, see you all in about 5 to 10 minutes. All right, I am back. Let's swap back over here. All right, I got blast bag separated. Just got some water. Ads are out of the way. Let's get back into this. For those who might just be joining in, we are sort of doing an homage to, oh, that's the instructions. That's what we're celebrating. We're doing Dinovember over here. This is technically an art prompt list put together by Casey Snow Art, but we are celebrating it in our variety stream way with some brick building and games about dinosaurs. I kicked off the stream talking about some of the dinosaurs that are part of the event for the first 6 days, and I'm going to continue that. So if you come back on Sunday at the start of stream, you'll hear about 3 dinosaurs that are part of the event. Not that one. That one. And on Sunday, we're also going to be building a baby ankylosaur with an egg. And then starting next week, next Thursday, we'll be playing some Paleo Pines. Still trying to decide if I'm going to start a whole new game or if we're just going to pick up where we left off and oh, broke off a piece. Get back together. I am also still raising money for Save the Vaquita Week in the background here. You scan that QR code at the bottom of the screen. You can, or if you want to check out that link that just posted, you can see other streamers who are streaming for the Vaquita this week. The world's smallest smallest cetacean and the most critically endangered marine mammal, with possibly fewer than 10 remaining in the wild. And we can't take them into captivity, so the situation is very dire. They don't do well with human contact. Yeah, got that going in the background, but we are celebrating Vaquita Week and Dinovember. What does it want me to do here? Build this little structure. That's what it's wanting me to do. Read the instructions, Pyro. That. And if you're looking for something to do in the background, I do have a puzzle going on. Exclamation point puzzle, or it is pinned to the top of chat. Go. And a blue one. Break Checking out the colors. I don't like, there's some random blue pieces mixed in here and I don't know why. Not sure why we've got blue bits. So that's gonna go there. Just me, or is the music very quiet? Let's change that up to another song. That was very quiet. I could not hear it at all. Nope, not that one. Not that one. That's the one. That's gonna go there. Okay, and then this is gonna go there. Alright, there we go, covering up that blue one again. Don't know what's with the random blue piece. Lots of teeth coming into play in this one. So we're definitely dealing, I think, with the bottom jaw. At least that's how it seems to me. Okay. Alright. This go on this bad boy. Like no. Right. Next verse, similar to the first. Not the same though, as it's the opposite side. There it is. That's gonna be like that. You're gonna be on there. Like that. Like that. Right. Looks like a little spaceship, like a little plane, little shuttle. There it is. Azar, are you gonna eat your food? Are you gonna eat your food, Azar? He's probably not gonna eat his food. There we go. All right. Getting the other side put together here. Coming together. Trying to see if Suntroa is trying to get Azar to eat. And so far he's being a little stinker, not wanting to go for it. Okay. This one goes here, and this go flip it over. Skip to step. There we go. Can't go skipping steps. Azar, you need to eat your food, Boba. He doesn't believe his mama. I'm over here breaking pieces. pushing pieces apart. There we go. Right now we prep some more teeth. It's really hard to put teeth in a socket. I'd bet it's much easier to remove them. Get back on there. Okay. So. Ooh. Dropping things. There's our teeth. Are we still live? My OBS just did a weird thing. Okay. This is going right there. Getting there. We're gonna make the front of the jaw. I'm gonna go ahead and put these in. There. Let's go like that. Okay, and then this goes holding the two jaws together, the two parts of the lower jaw together. So there we go. Looks a little derpy, doesn't he? Looks best open. If you close it, kind of got some serious overbite issues. We're gonna leave it open. Now we gotta do up here. The nasal parts. Are we still live though? Looks like we are. Had a big internet spike there. down here. There we go. This looks like a rocket ship too. Looks like a rocket ship to me. I see a rocket ship. Wait, I missed a step. Still live focus on puzzle. Okay, I just wanted to make sure on my screen, I'm monitoring the stream on my iPad and it like just did a big ol' dip. And I was like, oh no. How is the puzzle coming along? Oh, you got the border together. You're getting there. I'm gonna start, I'm gonna leave the puzzles up until my next stream, and then I'll reset my puzzle link, if it's not completed. I'll reset the puzzle link on the morning that I stream. So if you don't finish that puzzle today and you guys want to keep working on it, I'll leave the link live until Sunday morning. So if over the weekend or the end of the week, you guys just want to work on a bit of puzzle, feel free to check it out. Hang out over there. Yeah, so click that down there. That gives it that nice slope down. It's a decent sized skull. I mean, all things considered. Okay, so we're gonna take one of these. Put this on there, like so. Flip it over. This on the back. A few hours later than usual, but you're here. Welcome in, Cortez. Thanks for coming in. We are celebrating Dinovember this month. Thank you for the hydrate. Ooh, and a piece of candy. I will, thank you. After my freeze-dried marshmallows, I'm gonna need to get some more. I might have been putting these in some hot chocolate. They work really well in hot chocolate. Yes, we are celebrating Dinovember this month. And as part of that, no Halloween candy stash. I do have some candy, but I'm trying to save it for the holidays. I have some chocolate stashed away. We don't get trick-or-treaters at my place, so I don't have an excuse to buy any Halloween candy. All right, so there is our main part of our skull here. We're gonna put it on our base, but he's got a major overbite, so we're definitely gonna leave his mouth open. I wish they would have made his lower jaw just a little bit longer. There's the back of the skull. That would be where the neck connects. Got our eye socket in here. Nasal areas here. All right, and then not very clear. Yes, T-Rex had lips. This is true facts. We are also sort of doing a little bit of learning about dinos at the same time this month. Did I put these jaws on backwards? Hold on. Because something looks weird. So here's my instructions, guys. This looks like it should just fit down on there, right? Like just pop down on there. But the jaws are in the way. So did I do something wrong? What am I missing here? Yeah? Let me take the bottom jaw off. See what I did wrong here. Went back a few steps and I'm gonna look it over. I'm thinking maybe I might have flipped something around. Looks like the stalk may fit the other way. That's how I have it. Did I have that reverse? Oh yeah, that whole piece. How in the heck did I do all that wrong? This orange part here is supposed to be on the outside. What? How did I... Okay, so put those together. We're gonna have to do a little unbuilding. Well, I figure out what I did wrong. I think I see. Now the question is how to fix it. Surgery time. Okay, yeah. Now to get it back on there. Reverse these because I had the whole thing put on backwards. Had a Lego dyslexic moment, apparently. Popping other things off while I try and put that back on. Okay. Okay. I think I fixed it. Back to where we were. So I had these two pieces much too close together. Which was part of the problem. There we go. That's what it's supposed to look like. Have a gap. And then it squishes on here. I have this put together backwards too. I do. Okay. I should have started a prediction if I was going to have to unbuild anything today. You guys would have gotten some points. Come on. Come on. Hey. Come up and go like that. I'm gonna blame that one on the instructions, not being clear about which direction it needs to go. All right. Let's put everything back together. I'm determined to knock everything off, though. All right, let's try that again. There we go. That went much smoother because that's where it's supposed to go. That looks much better. Now we're going to make the sign. Right. And our one sticker, which is info about T-Rex, mostly stuff from Jurassic World, which I'm not super interested in, but I might end up not keeping the sign on it. Oh, especially if I have it that crooked. That was an awful sign. Sticker place. Well, it's crooked now. It's not coming off. Crooked sticker. That goes down here. Terribly crooked. And that is our build. There we go. There's a T-Rex footprint and skull. Get my up-close camera here and show you. Some plants on it. Jaw looks much better now that I have done it correctly. There's my terrible sticker job. Look at how crooked that is. That is the worst. There's the footprint. that is our build for the day. So as a reminder, this month we are celebrating Dinovember all month. Today we talked about a little brief blurbs about Velociraptor, Phycomelis, Corythosaurus, Ceratosaurus, Mendozasaurus, and Gallimimus. If you come back on Sunday, the start of stream, probably in the first 15 to 30 minutes, depending on how excited we get, we will be talking a little bit about Megaraptor, Kentrosaurus, and Silophysis. Or Colophysis. Colophysis? Latin. And we will be building... Let me give you a little sneak peek of our build. Here is what we will be building. This is a little ankylosaur in an egg. Hatching out of an egg. Ankylosaurus. I don't know if it shows it from any other angle. It does not. But yeah, that's what we're going to be building on Sunday. So be sure to hop back over if you have any interest in dinosaurs. But for today, we are going to go ahead and raid out. Don't run away just yet. We are going to go find someone to spread this Twitch love onto. There are my... Oh, come on, raid calls. Raid calls should be popping up here any minute. Let's see. There's the raid calls. Where will we go? Let me see what this streamer's doing. Oh. Like, why can't I hear anything? I have it muted. You know what? Let's go over to someone else who is raising money for the Vaquita. We're gonna go say hi to Cast W Art. They are also part of Save the Vaquita Week. Let's go say hi. Help spread awareness while we're doing this charity week. And I will be back on Sunday for some more Dinovember. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, great rest of your week, and I will see you on Sunday. Bye, friends!